Hey guys, I want to talk to you today about strong passwords. So, what makes a good password today? There's a lot of myth and misinformation out there. The most common thing that we talk through, for example, you can head over to our website. We've got a little resources page, hungerford.tech/resources, stronger passwords. This little write-up is a way to help keep this advice in place. If you want to audit your own practices, but you're not the tech person, the idea is if you ask these questions to the person who does do your tech, then this should be helpful. So one of the big ones is password rotation. It was really popular for a while to say make new copies of your keys every so often. Means if anybody did get a hold of it, then they only have a short window in which they could use that key to break into your system. And logically, it makes sense. And if this was just all computers, it would work really well. The problem is we have people involved, and people come up with ways to make sure they can remember their passwords. So if your password rotation policy is every year you have to change your password, there's a pretty good chance every one of your employees has a password they know, and then tack on the year at the end. For example, my password would be Greg is the man 2025. And then I get the thing that says it's time to change your password. So I jump in and I go, Greg is the man 2026. And from the perspective of a hacker, that password didn't change enough because it's really easy for them to script something that says, whatever password we found used 10 years ago, there's a good chance they're still using it. If you have a once a year password rotation policy that if I see Greg's password is Greg is the man 2014, I'm going to go try different combinations of Greg is the man with a new year on the end. That's really easy to code and break into. If your password rotation is every 3 months, there's a pretty good chance that your password is Greg is the man spring, Greg is the man summer, Greg is the man fall. And if your password rotation is every 30 days, there's a pretty good chance your password is Greg is the man Jan, Greg is the man Feb. You can see the idea of how humans make it something they can remember, and it turns it into that's a easy to break password, and it actually defeats the security value you were trying to add. Requiring specific types of characters increases entropy. Just basically imagine if you have a lock with 4 digits to unlock it, there are 1,000 possible combinations of numbers. If there's 5 digits, there's 10,000 possible combinations. If there's 16 digits, I'm not that good at math, but you can see how there's that many more combinations. That's only with 0 through 9 for the numbers. But if you also add uppercase letters, lowercase letters, so 26 more and 26 more, and then you add symbols, that's a whole bunch more. Basically, the simple math is by requiring those extra things, you're increasing the number of variables that lead to how long it would take for someone to just randomly typing in numbers to guess every possible combination and brute force their way into your password. Allowing shorter than 15 characters, there's a lot of different opinions on this. I've seen a lot of hedging from the official sources on what is long enough. We push our people to do at least 16 characters or longer. That's kind of that sweet spot for the math. Before you start getting people revolting of, I can't type 16 individual keys on a computer in a row correctly without mistyping, so I can't go any further. Passphrases, this is kind of a goofy term, but I mean, a passphrase and a password are identical. They're the exact same thing. The history on this is a password implies a word, and so it psychologically gets people to type in a single word instead of typing in multiple words. And so attackers would do like a dictionary attack, which means they, instead of randomly guessing every possible combination of letters and numbers, they're going to use a dictionary to try to look at real words. And so you've limited significantly the number of things that they would actually try. If my password is a single word like Hungerford, then I'm going to have that be a word that's in the dictionary. Even if I'm clever and I change the E to a 3 or the O to a 0, it's still that they can script a lookup that says try Hungerford with spelling normal, try Hungerford with 3s for the E's, try Hungerford with 0s for the O's. Those are predictable behaviors that they can just script to get in. So a passphrase says multiple words, essentially. And that's really all you're changing when you go from a password to a passphrase. Don't just put a single word that a dictionary attack can go limit all of those. It's much more complicated to script something to look for multiple combinations of words than to just look for single words. And then lastly, everybody would benefit if everybody used password managers. I used to, every time we had a Netflix password or some video streaming password that we use at my house, my wife doesn't have her own account separate from me. And so the two of us, if we ever had to change a password for some reason, we would have to coordinate with each other. Hey, I changed the password. Now we have a password manager, and I have a password vault and she has a password vault, but this Netflix password is shared between us. If any of us ever changes, it just changes in the background. I don't even know what our password is. And because I don't have to know what my password is, I don't have a problem coming up with a 16-character password that I don't even know because my password manager remembers it for me. And I think we even set ours to be like 20 or 25 characters because might as well. And then the rotation on it isn't as important because it's a strong password. Now, a lot of these variables also factor in, are you doing multi-factor authentication? Yes, you should be doing multi-factor authentication. And lastly, we are on the precipice of a big change to passwords, which is phishing-resistant credentials or passkeys. So passkeys, put that on your radar. Essentially, the big breakthrough is being able to know that if I'm physically in front of the device versus remotely typing in the password, and by knowing that I'm physically in front of the device, there's a lot smaller risk that I am just randomly typing in characters trying to break in as if I was online trying to break into the device. So good password security advice is don't regularly enforce changing your password too frequently because it leads to bad behavior by employees just trying to remember their passwords. Are we still requiring specific character types? You should still put more in, although with the right combination of length and complexity, you don't necessarily need all of these to be enforced. It's just better. Are we encouraging passphrases? Don't just use single word passwords. And everybody should be using a password manager. It just makes life so much easier. Thanks for your time, guys.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.